Hey everybody, this is Billy at Bakersfield Tough, and man, today we're out here doing some fishing. We're at the Aqueduct, and out here bright and early, man. It's got I think we're probably a little after 6. And Steve, where are we exactly? Where are we?
Actually, we're west of Bakersfield on one of the numerous gates, check gates that are on the aqueduct. This particular one's at Freeborn, but you don't have to go to Freeborn. Freeborn is just an easy one to get to.
Right.
You can go to the golf course, check 29. Tutman 28, Freeborn 27, all the way up to, you can go up into Kings County if you want to. Quite a few fish in the aqueduct. Like I say, we just picked an easy one today, but hopefully they're biting. We won't know until we try. We'll be using some bait, live bait, model sculpin that I caught here out of the aqueduct night before last, and with a net. And then I'm also going to be using a lure called a Gets It, which is, they gets them.
Yeah.
But that's what they're called, is a Gets It.
Nice.
And
what kind of fish are we talking about out here?
Just about the only things left in the aqueduct. I mean, there's some other species, but by and large, the vast majority of fish in here are striped bass, and then occasional catfish. People fish at night. I was fishing in this back in the late 60s, early 70s. When we used to be called the black shirt and tennis shoe crew, because they used to run us out of here, and we used to run out there in the desert and hide, and then the state policeman had come by, you know, and we were fighting it in court and everything, and they finally allowed us to fish in here.
Yeah.
One of the bad problems they have out here is they have a litter problem, because there's no garbage cans to speak of. The ones that you do see, like over here, they're always full, and the state, I guess, is trying to save some money. They're not sending people out. So you have a litter problem, and what people don't realize, they keep littering out here, and eventually the state's going to run us out again.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, let's see what we can catch today, and who knows, man? I'm looking forward to this.
Give it a try.
Okay.
They've been a little slow on the artificials, but I like to save my base for when I know they're biting. And we'll just throw an artificial in there.
Okay.
And
you just send it crossway and
send her across and let it sink.
Okay.
Sink.
How deep are these?
You know what? I have no idea. I think it's around 22 feet.
No
I'm
kidding.
Just guessing. Yeah, just guessing.
Okay.
And
you definitely got to be careful when you're out here. You can see that it'd be hard to you could really lose your footing on this edge.
Actually, it's not that steep. You can actually, if you're careful.
Yeah.
You can actually walk down. But what you don't want to do is you never want to get below this black line.
Yeah.
And this black line is can be a big problem. So, I got one.
Okay, that was fast.
First cast, not too bad, huh?
Not too bad, yeah.
I think he got hung up in some weeds. There he come off. Might be a keeper.
Yeah?
Maybe. Feels like it. He's fighting like it. They have to be 18 inches in here.
Okay.
In order to keep. And there's a certain way of measuring them, which I will show you.
You got to stretch them out a little bit?
Yeah. So. They put up a pretty good fight. I don't think this is a keeper, but we'll measure him. No, he's not even close. So, well, he's close. He might be a keeper. Take it back.
Let's see what we got here.
This is a striped bass.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out my trusty measuring device, which is in here somewhere. These were given to us by the California Department of Fish and Game. If you see a warden, ask him if he's got one, so that you won't have to. They're a pretty neat device. What I'm going to do now is I want to lay him.
Let me hold that pole for you. Let me hold the pole for you.
Yeah, I want to lay him down someplace where it's clean, because I may have to turn him loose. I don't like to lay him in the mud and the dirt. But all right, buddy.
There he goes. I think this one's going to go back either way.
I think he's going home.
And he gets it. There you go.
Well, that's good. But you know, one of the worst things that can happen when you're fishing is you never want to catch a fish on the first cast of the day.
Yeah. Well, we've been out here about 5 minutes, man. You're pulling right out, so this is definitely a place. Well,
yeah, you don't have to come here. You can go over to any of these. The trick to catching these striped bass is be here when they move up to feed. Normal feeding period for them is early in the morning. That's what, 6:20, 6:30 right now, 6:30.
yeah.
They come up early, and then again in the evening from about 5 o'clock on.
One of the things we talked about too is they actually shut the water off here.
Yeah.
So you can't, like coming out here, you could come out here and this place will be down, right? I mean, it's
dead
not
still.
Yeah, and at that time you're not going to catch anything. You're not going to catch much.
The fish will be way down that way and avoiding, you know, so.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway, they're on the jig. If they're on the jig, normally they're on the, they'll be on the bait.
Right.
There's striper.
Not bad. Yep.
That's striper number 2.
Yeah.
He's pretty close to keeper size.
Yep.
Man, this guy wouldn't have gotten away in a million years. He's really hooked. Let's see how. Let's just curiosity. Let's just see if I can lose this one too.
Okay.
I'm just curious because the other one was a little bit longer. Looks about 17 and a half, maybe 18.
They got to be now 18.
18 inches, right? He's a keeper.
Yeah.
He's a keeper. You want to eat a couple fillets, they're really good.
Awesome.
We'll just toss him up here. Limit's only 2, but you can catch them after that
Yeah.
and release them.
Right.
Most people are afraid they're going to catch a 30-pounder or something after they've caught their 2. So.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go to some live bait and show us what you got here.
Well, these are called Sculpins.
Okay. And these are where do you catch them?
I catch them right here.
You catch them in
You
Aqueduct.
catch them at night.
Okay.
And you got to use a net to get them.
Right.
But the stripers really like
Now, how do you know? Okay, so you just
Now I'm going to hook them right through, from the bottom up, right through his lips.
okay.
And they stay alive pretty good. They're an odd-looking fish. They look kind of like a cabezon over there that you catch at the ocean.
Yeah, they look like something on the bottom.
And they're very, 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 very good.
Now, how does this compare to like a lure? I mean, or like a live bait, always a little bit better.
Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
In this case, I'd rather have live gobies than I would anything else. Yeah.
Now, are they actually moving in the water pretty good when you throw them in there?
Yeah. I mean, the first couple of casts after that, they slow down, but it doesn't seem to make any difference to the striped bass. They like them live or dead.
So one of the reasons why this is kind of I don't want to say fishing hole, but why this is so good to fish here is because all the fish come to this area to feed. You can see down here it's calm, but this area right here where all the water's being, everything's coming in, all the fish come here to feed. So that's why it's good when the water's flowing. Now when they shut it down, all the fish kind of scatter back, throughout this and they're not condensed. So right here you're almost like shooting ducks in a barrel. I mean, they're all right here. So that's why we're pulling fish up like, 1 out of every 2 minutes. So.
But never forget, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him eat.
Right.
It's the same way with fish. They can be there by the thousands, but you can't force them.
Right.
And they feed.
And they shut down, like what time would you say?
Today, probably 10-ish.
10-ish they'll stop eating?
Their natural feeding period will be over with.
Yeah. So here's an interesting part of the aqueduct. You can see this is actually the, I guess, gate valves. And they're up right now, so it allows the water to come from there into here. And you can kind of see, it's interesting. We talked about it earlier. You can see the water, it's weird. It comes in here, like it flows into here, but yet the aqueduct is flowing out there. So that's how you get all this turbulence right here. And, you know, and that's why the fish are here, because, you know, all the stuff being thrown in here right here. I mean, it's an amazing amount of fish. I think we probably pulled up, I don't know, I want to say 15 to 20 fish, I would say, within about an hour and a half. So it's an amazing, I can only imagine how many fish are in here.